the world to hear. And we'll start in one more minute.
Todavía tienen tiempo para que inviten a una persona que no ven aquí. So, por favor, llama a tu compañera de trabajo, a tu amiga y invítalo que vengan a la llamada. ¡Hola, Mónica!
Susana, buenas tardes a todos.
Buenas tardes, Mónica. Buenas tardes.
Susana, Damaris, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Si pueden venir en la pantalla, no tengan miedo, vengan a la pantalla, sea que esté seguro, que no esté guiando o algo así, pero por favor, vengan. Veo a algunos de nuestros invitados, Damaris, veo a Stephanie, veo a Sean, qué bueno, hola.
Hello, welcome everyone. Good afternoon, happy Friday. And we're gonna get this party started, although we already started the party. And happy Friday to everyone. Welcome to December's LEJ and First Up provider meeting. I'm just trying to turn off my music. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do two things at one time.
The music wants to
There you
stay.
go.
That's what it is.
Okay. So I hope that music's inspired everyone. So we could get this party started. Bienvenidos a todos y feliz viernes. Can you, next slide, please? Okay. So I am going to introduce Andrea. Andrea.
Thank you. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Andrea, estoy aquí con la Community Language Cooperative y vamos a practicar la justicia del lenguaje para que todo el mundo pueda hablar y escuchar en el idioma en el que se sientan más cómodos. Vamos a tener interpretación simultánea en inglés y en español y una vez que prendamos la interpretación, ustedes van a ver un globo que va a aparecer en la parte inferior de su pantalla o si están en su teléfono o tableta van a ver 3 punticos donde dice más y ahí van a poder seleccionar su idioma. Si son bilingües, no tienen que seleccionar un idioma y siempre pueden hablar en cualquiera de los dos que se sientan más cómodos. Les pido que hablen a un paso conversacional, se mantengan en mudo, en silencio cuando no estén hablando y hablen muy cerca a su micrófono cuando sea su turno de hablar. And hi everybody, my name is Andrea. I'm here with the Community Language Cooperative. We're going to be practicing language justice so that we can speak and hear in the language of our heart. And we're going to have simultaneous interpretation in English and in Spanish. Once we turn on the interpretation, you're going to see a globe that is going to come up at the bottom of your screen. Or if you're on your phone or tablet, you're going to see 3 little dots where it says more, and there you can select your language. Please remember to remain muted when you're not speaking, speak close to your microphone when it's your turn to speak, and speak at a conversational pace so that I can interpret everything accurately. And thank you. We can begin interpretation now.
Ooh, that was fast.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot I had to actually turn her on. Okay. I will turn on the language interpretation. Hold on a second.
Ready?
I am, no, not yet. I'm gonna put Andrea in there.
Escriben por favor su correo electrónico en el cuadro de chat. Si está aquí por primera vez, nos gustaría mantenerlo a ustedes informados de oportunidades, recursos que hay para ustedes. So, por favor, escriben su correo electrónico en el chat.
So I just want to make sure Andrea has the capability. Andrea, if you could just give me a thumbs up that you're good to go.
The interpretation has not been turned on.
Okay, I'm going to try one more time, and my apologies to everyone on this call.
Okay, wiping coming out.
Okay, here we go. I feel like I did that correctly. Sorry about that. Next, I'm sorry.
Ok, so aquí estoy. Bienvenido a todos. Recordándole que aquí Rosana Matos, tu servidora de First Up, y la compañera mía aquí en este trabajo.
Damaris Alvarado Rodríguez, bienvenidos a todos. Y aquí le vamos a presentar a Marcelino que va a compartir las normas de la casa. Marcelino.
Muy buenas tardes, mi nombre es Marcelino. Voy a presentar las reglas de la casa. Por favor, en el chat, en el cuadro del chat, pueden poner su nombre, el nombre de la organización y su correo electrónico. Por favor, permanezca en silencio. Para hablar, levante la mano o reactive el audio para hacer preguntas. use el cuadro del chat y compartiremos. Las sesiones se están grabando y se compartirán en el sitio web. Activar las opciones de idioma, de transcripción traducida. Le dan a la bolita que sale, que dice Interpretation, y ahí usted puede escoger el idioma en el cual usted desea el meeting. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, Marcelino. Muchísimas gracias. So Marcelino is our DJ for today, just wanted you guys to know. So we had him here earlier because he loves music. So we were trying to get some really great music to share. So thank you for sharing your knowledge of music. Aquí estamos en Rompehielo, the icebreaker, and I'm going to ask you in English. And of course, we have translation here, but I'm going to say it in Spanish as well. What do you do to make Christmas special for the children you serve? Or the holiday special, if they don't celebrate Christmas. So, ¿qué haces para que la Navidad sea especial para los niños que ustedes sirven en su comunidad? O si no celebran las Navidades, lo que ustedes vayan a celebrar.
Y lo pueden escribir en el chat o si hay alguien que quiera compartir, pero tenemos 1 minuto o 2 para que comparta si deseas. Mandamos libros, yay. Muy bien.
Stephanie Portillo is my new best friend. We're going to be good friends.
Yo siempre comparto con los niños con comida, ¿verdad? Dulces y bizcocho y galletitas, cosas que nos llenan la barriga y la alma.
Awesome. So it says food inside the chat as well. So they love to share food. And someone had put down that they love to share books. And I love to share toys. So because I do service a population of children and families that have a lot of gaps. So I like to provide toys to every child in the center. Les prepararon una fiestecita y les doy sus regalos. So, very nice. A party and with gifts for them as well. Very nice.
Sigan poniendo ahí en el chat. Ahí tenemos a Marta con la mano alzada que quiera compartir.
Marta.
No, con permiso, no tengo un daycare, ¿verdad? Pero tengo clientes con daycare. Y la semana pasada, bueno, esta semana, estaba hablando con una de las clientas que es dueña de un daycare y me dice, espérate, déjame ponerte en FaceTime. Y cuando me puso en FaceTime, los toddlers venían a darle una parranda. So I love that. So le enseñan cultura, ¿no? Yeah.
Nice. You want to explain that in
Very
English for folks that don't know what a parranda is?
Right. So I don't have a daycare, but I have clients that have daycares, and I was on the phone recently with the owner, and he said, let me put you on FaceTime because the kids are coming. They were giving what is called a parranda. All the toddlers had like little maracas and they were just singing and coming to her office and singing to her because that's what they do in Puerto Rico. And so they build culture in their children. So that was awesome.
Nice.
Estoy leyendo en el cuadro de chat las diferentes cosas. Fotografía cerca del arbolito de Navidad, caramelos. Sean Perkins nos escribió bancos de alimentos, llenando los bancos de alimentos. Qué bueno.
In 40 sitios, we're gonna need that list of those 40 places. Yeah.
Maritza escribe que también explica el verdadero significado de la Navidad. Qué bonito. Sounds wonderful. Qué bueno. Que muchas costumbres. So,
I think Suani put nuestra acostumbrada fiesta anual de los padres e hijos incluye los mejores momentos en nuestras instalaciones, almuerzo navideño, regalos individuales para los niños y actividades. Wow, I'm going to Allentown, Suani. I'm going to come party with you guys in Allentown. You guys know how to party. Nice.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Pues qué bueno que sigan compartiendo ahí en el chat box si tienen. Ahí veo Sean que puso ese recurso el recurso donde pueden buscar alimentos para sus familias o para los niños. Ahí hay un recurso ya puesto en el chat box.
Para Maritza, que le gusta mucho, y muchísimas de ustedes, no nada más Maritza, que le gusta hacer muchísimo trabajo en la comunidad y están buscando comida para la gente y todo. Ahí está el recurso dentro del chat. Thank you so much, Sean Perkins, for giving us that information and that resource. We have a lot of people that do a lot of community work on this call today. So that is amazing. Thank you. Okay, so we would like to welcome Netta. Welcome back, Netta, Octo Special Assistance for External Relations to our call today. And Netta, do you have any updates for us or anything that you would like to share with us?
Yes, hi. Thank you for having me again.
Hi, thank you
I
for
feel like I
coming.
always say this, but I'm always so happy for this meeting because of the energy.
Oh, thank you, and we're so happy to have you here.
Okay, the big one.
The big
I'm going
one.
to put it into the chat. This is the just released yesterday afternoon Keystone Stars Quality Improvement Award. So I just want to make sure that everybody on the call got the web browser version so that you can access the translation from the PA key. If there's problems there, if somebody wants to go ahead and check while I'm on, because I'm actually.
Rosanna, you want to stop sharing and share the chat just to make sure, that they're able to see.
You said share the chat?
Share the link in the chat.
I'm not seeing the normal
Share
translation box.
Okay.
It works. Yeah, for me it works too. Hi, Diane.
Here it goes.
Yes.
So that is the announcement. Questions that come up can certainly be routed my way, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone had access to it. And more can be found at the PA Key website.
And this is the grant, right? The grant that people are going to get. And this is for STAR 2, 3, and 4s.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So esto sale, yo sé que ustedes tiene Adriana translating, pero quería decirle que esto era para estrella 3 y 4, 2, 3 y 4 y una beca que está saliendo. Si ustedes recibieron, ellos quieren saber si ustedes recibieron esta información ayer. So si no lo recibieron, déjalo dicho. And this is for all of PA, todo Pensilvania. Para nuestros amigos que no están en Filadelfia.
Yo tengo una pregunta rapidito para esto. ¿Hay una aplicación o esto automáticamente?
So is this an application process or if this is just an automatic one time, like this is what you receive, you get what you get and you don't get upset type of deal?
For now, yes. And like I said, whatever questions come, it was just released yesterday, so I don't have any more information. But any questions that come, definitely, Damaris, you can route them my way.
Perfect. And I see Diane put something in the chat, and it says all award letters would be eligible Philadelphia providers in Philadelphia will be mailed on 12/22 at 5 p.m. So Diane Getzinger from the ELRC Region 18 is here. And thank you. Hi, Diane. And she did put in the chat just to clarify that. So all Philadelphia, email 12/22 at 5 p.m. I got it. Thank you. ¿Algunas preguntas?
Mi pregunta era que si yo tengo que aplicar o automáticamente me llega esos fondos.
So the question was, and maybe Diane would be best, is there an application process or if this is an automatic email? They just want a clarity if they have to do anything.
Not an automatic email or automatic payment that just comes to them.
Automatic payment, I'm
do
sorry.
anything.
An automatic payment, thank you.
I don't want to cut Diane off, but there is an application process, and Diane, you're probably better to speak on the process.
I couldn't type fast enough. So for this grant, we're going to mail providers an award letter giving you the maximum amount that you're eligible for. You'll have to sign and return that award letter by, I think the deadline's February 15th. It's not first come, first serve. Anyone who's eligible will receive the funds. And if you don't get it, please wait until after the 22nd when we send out our emails in Philadelphia anyway.
Mhm.
Wait until after the 22nd to, if you don't get an email, to reach out, right? Because only eligible providers will get the email.
Okay,
So if you don't get an email and you think you're eligible, then after the 22nd, reach out and we'll look into it for you.
perfect. Thank you so much for sharing, Diane. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diane. And then the
Okay.
only other thing I had today was just making sure that everyone knows that both of the provider listening sessions on Monday, the 18th have Spanish translation.
All right, awesome. We did go to the first one. I believe we've been sharing the 18th as well.
Good.
Yes,
Thank you all
yes.
so much. Let me know if there's any follow-up.
Thank you so much, Nada. I really appreciate you sharing this
I don't see
information,
any
and Diane
questions.
too. Any other questions before we move on? ¿Algunas preguntas más que tengan ustedes de esta beca?
Entonces, para las personas, Damaris, que no están en Filadelfia, ellos esperarían una carta o un correo de Policy Coach o de su área.
So that's a very good question. I'm going to bounce that back
Yeah,
to
the
Nada.
process is the same.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. You no, go ahead.
Yeah, the process is the same for everyone. It's just a
Okay.
question of what the timing, right? For
Mhm.
when the ELRC will send you your letter and how. So you should look to your ELRC for more details about that, but the process itself is the same.
Awesome.
Muy bien.
Thank you.
All right, pues déjanos saber en el cuadro de chat si ustedes ya sabían y están buscando ese correo, es pendiente a eso, esa información para que reciban esos fondos adicionales. Déjame saber, para saber si ustedes están pendientes a eso. Esto fue algo que yo vi por mensaje de un texto anoche, so qué bueno que ya está por ahí.
I guess that one of the questions is there an amount, or an estimated amount that most providers will receive, or is it based off of enrollment?
The amounts do vary. I don't have the eligibility in front of me, but I mean, if Diane knows more, I think that it's just very new and we just sort of have to wait. But yes, the amounts do vary. And like I said, I don't have the chart right in front of me.
No problem.
So
Okay.
I'm sorry, the chart is on the website. So if you click on Netta's link and then
Wonderful.
you go to the announcement and scroll down to award amounts in the black bar. I don't know if you want, I can share. I don't know if you want me to, but I can share my screen, or if somebody else wants to pull it up, they could share it that way.
Yeah, I can make you a co-host. 1 second, please.
Let me stop my share.
Thank you.
And Maritza, veo tu manita, ya mismo te llamamos para que hagas su pregunta.
You should be able to share now.
I put the correct link in. One less click.
Were you able to share, Diane? Were you able to access it? I'm not sure.
I'm actually new to Teams. Let me go off. I'm in the office, so I can come off. I can be on camera. How do I share?
Oh, this is Zoom. So
Uh-huh.
on the bottom, it says
That's
share screen.
I don't see share screen.
I could try
looks
to.
like an
Oh, no,
arrow.
I'm sorry. I do see share screen. I
You got it? Okay, good.
Can
There
you
you go. Yeah, it's coming. Yes. Awesome. So aquí están las cantidades que los child care centers van a recibir dependiendo del family child care, group child care o centro, y de estrella también. Nice. Oh, and it
Ah,
also
bueno.
has a capacity. Very good, very good.
Ah.
Maritza, I think you had a question, right, Maritza?
Sí, en cuanto a la cantidad, ya sé que la pusieron ahora mismo, pero ¿se estaría gastando solamente en el daycare o una parte uno puede también coger para uno o para la staff?
The question,
Back on the link that I put second in the chat, there's a allowable expense categories tab
Mm.
where you'll find that information.
okay. Está en el website, Maritza, que ahí tú puedes ver qué es lo que ellos aceptan que tú gastes, qué cantidad por cada persona o en qué es lo que tú vas a gastar el dinero aprobado por ellos.
Okay.
There's also ineligible list as well.
Y también hay una lista de cosas que no pueden pagar, que no pueden gastar el dinero los fondos.
Muy bien. Son en ese enlace que se puso último, que como hay varios mensajes, lo voy a volver a poner. Ese enlace te puede llevar a esa información. Sabía que iba a haber algunos, tú sabes, requerimientos con esto. No se da un dinero, que iba a haber como que algo, ¿verdad? Unas barreras.
Yeah, yeah.
Qué bueno.
But this is great because it did come out yesterday, ¿verdad? Salió ayer. It's pretty new. So I'm pretty sure providers had a lot of questions. But I welcome this funding. So thank you so much. I don't have any questions.
All right,
But
let me
this is really
share my
great.
screen, I guess,
Thank
so I can show the slides again.
Yes, thank you.
Dame ver.
Y bienvenidos a todos que entraron ahora mismo. Si pueden poner su nombre y el nombre de la organización y su correo electrónico entre el chat.
Gracias, Nera, por la información y los updates que nos trae siempre. Te veo en el próximo año, en enero.
Yes, happy holidays, and I welcome the questions, so please send them. I definitely want to know if there's confusion of any kind.
We sure
Thanks,
will.
yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Y
Okay.
ahora tenemos a Stephanie Portillo. ¿Lo dije bien?
Portillo,
Ok.
Portillo.
Portillo.
Tenemos a Stephanie de la organización La Fuerza de Familias Latinas a traernos una buena información y estoy muy alegre de tenerla. Estamos trabajando con ella en los últimos meses en algunas cosas aquí en Filadelfia. Estoy muy agradecida que ella está aquí. Stephanie, voy a presentar tus slides y preséntate a ti también.
Okay, thank you. My name is Stephanie Portillo. I'm going to do this in English because my Spanish brain isn't on today, so sorry, but I'll probably do some Spanglish, but my name is Stephanie Portillo. I'm the project manager of outreach, and I primarily work with partners in different areas. So I primarily look for early childhood centers in Philadelphia, CBOs that can partner with us for workshops with families. And I am with La Fuerza de Familias Latinas, which is a national program by Literacy Partners. And we work in partnership with Univision and the William Penn Foundation.
So Spanish brain, we have Spanish, not a Spanish brain today, but we have Spanish slides. Okay.
Yes. So La Fuerza de Familias Latinas is a national program by Literacy Partners. Literacy Partners believes in a two-generation approach to programming. And we believe that the success of the family trickles down to the success of the child as well. And we do that through all of our programming, which is English for parents, reading for parents, La Fuerza Familias Latinas, and Science of Reading. Those are some programs that we provide to Philadelphia parents as well. And Literacy Partners has been a champion in literacy for over 50 years. This is actually our 50th year this year, so we're excited. Next slide. Perfect. Here at La Fuerza de Familias Latinas, we believe that parents already have the strengths and the capacities to engage their child's early learning at home. And we are just here to support them in language and in culture. And we want to do that by being culturally responsive to the family's needs as well. Next slide. Yeah, perfect. And we utilize a telenovela that we co-created with Univision to engage families in conversations. We know that Latinos already watch telenovelas with their families. And this is an educational telenovela. It's 5 episodes, 45 minutes each. And we utilize 2 seasons of the telenovela of La Fuerza de Creer. The first season is season 2, which focuses on early childhood and early learning. And our fourth season actually focuses on STEM and informal science learning. And families really engage with the material. Families are able to see themselves in the families that are represented in the telenovela. And it's really a mix of cultures as well. Our new telenovela, Dulce Sazón, just aired nationally in September. And we had a great viewing party with Rosana and First Up with one of the centers. And we were able to watch the first episode of the telenovela. And we also have promo codes to give everyone to access. It's on the Univision app. And hopefully in the new year, it'll be on their free VIX app, so families can enjoy whenever and for free. And let's see.
Rápido.
Next. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Before we go to the next slide, I just want to say that I did see the first episode and it's very creative and actually very funny. This grandpa here, extremely funny.
Yeah, his one-liners, everybody loves. Everybody thinks he's the abuelo of the family. He reminds you of your own abuelo, so everybody loves him. And it's really great. And it's a mixture of all of our culturas. We know that families are mixed, so it follows a Dominican and Mexican family, which is like
recording in progress.
Yeah, so it represents the families that we have are serving. Oh, sorry, I hear myself. Give me 1 second.
Let me just mute some people.
Okay, perfect. And then you can go to the next slide. Perfect. So how we utilize the telenovela in our workshops, our family engagement workshops are 5 sessions, 90 minutes each. And we follow the methodology story, voice, action. Story is we pull out clips of parent-child interactions from the telenovela, and families are able to voice their opinions on what they saw, right? The parent-child interaction can be good, can be bad, can be like all of our families go through a lot of different scenarios, right? So it could be of a parent maybe getting frustrated, right? And they might raise their voice at the child. And families are able to discuss like, oh, maybe she could have stepped away for a second, or maybe she could have took a deep breath, or, you know, other ways that families are able to engage with their child, or getting new ideas on how to engage with their child, right? And then our parent facilitators, 100% of our facilitators who lead the workshops are parents who have gone through the workshops themselves and have stepped up into this leadership position. And the parent facilitators actually encourage families to do an action at home. We provide consejo cards, which are tip cards, where families are able to engage in moments of connections at home, and families are able to kind of do things with everyday items that they have at home, right? We encourage, so we actually invite families in the beginning of the session. In the beginning of the session, we invite families to a WhatsApp group. WhatsApp is another familiar app to our families to contact back home. And this is so that families can stay engaged for the 5 sessions. And the sessions usually happen every other day. So we're keeping them engaged in conversations, but also the facilitators are there to help families log on, reminders to make sure that they're able to attend. And then also, this is where the village happens for parents, right? Parents are able to share what they're doing with their kids, and then we see a domino effect. Families, one parent shares the activity that they did at home, and then everyone's like, oh, I can do that at home too. So I'm able to share, and I'm able to, so even families that are facing literacy issues, which are a huge portion of the families that we serve, they're still able to authentically participate and fully participate by sending voice messages, videos, gifts, emojis, and families can really get the full sense of the village. And after the sessions have completed, we send 5 books mailed straight to their home so that they can put the strategies to use and start their own learning library. And then next slide. Yep, perfect. We don't have to watch this. This is, I'll send well, you have the deck already. But this is just a quick video of how La Fuerza can be put into action and how it affects our parents, and you can see it in live action. So we don't have to watch the video, but
what I can say something about it with the center that I participated with. I want providers that are on the call to know that they don't have to do this themselves. I know that they sometimes are very busy with other, with just the overall running of a center or a site. If they're in connection with myself, right, or someone else, I can help host something like this, especially through First Up, if I bring also like the advocacy message with me, because this is part of advocacy work, right? Getting families introduced to new resources, and this is one of them. So that's what I wanted to say. That's my video, sharing it.
Thank you. So we host the family engagement workshops monthly. Families can sign up and join virtually every month, and it's always free to parents. Parents can join whenever and sign up to our workshops. I'll put the link in the chat after I'm done, so you're able to see the sign up as well. And then, yep, you can go to the next slide. We know that 5 sessions can be a huge commitment to some of our families, and we also provide Leyendo en Casa. And this is reading together at home. It's one workshop, 60 minutes, once a month, and these have rotating topics of math, storytelling, science, reading, and then parents receive 1 book for the 1 session mailed straight to their home. And these are always free and virtual to families to join whenever they'd like. And families keep repeating because all the topics are rotating. So if you join this month, it might not be the same topic as next month. So these topics are always rotating, so families are always joining in. And then we also extend the invitation to the family engagement workshop. But they don't have to do the family engagement workshop to join Leyendo. So they can join whenever they'd like. So this is our Spanish language digital learning resources. These are the consejo cards that I was talking about earlier. We mail some with the books that families get after the session, but we also have these digitally, so families love to collect them. We have about 12 to 15, and we're always working to do more. And as you can see, they're actually modeled after Loteria. If you're familiar with the bingo game. And families have a topic, they have conversation starters or an activity that they can do at home or in el mercado, right? With everyday items and everyday activities that we do. And in the back, usually there's a QR code where families can sign up for our next workshop. We also have extra videos that we curated with Univision. If you didn't get enough of the novela and you want more, if you're a novelera, this is where you can get more content with Univision and the actors. We have more conversations, and these are always family favorites as well. And then we also have our cuentacuentos, which are Spanish read-alouds, and these families love them. You can access them on our website. I will share the link as well. And families are able to learn reading strategies on how to activate books at home, but also just not by reading, but also by looking at the colors of the pages, looking at the imagery, and making a book come alive. So families love that, and they're able to do that virtually with their child. So how do we work with partners, right? We work with partners by either providing a direct service. We know that some, like, you're at capacity, maybe you don't have a time to do a workshop on your own, but we have facilitators that we're able to work with you and provide these workshops in either early literacy or STEM, informal science learning. And we would pair you with one of our facilitators who would lead the 5 workshops. We also would help you with the recruitment, but also with the group chat engagement and the mailing of the 5 books. And also we do a pre and post survey to make sure that we are gauging the impact of the workshops within your families as well. And then you can go to next. We also work by doing train the trainer. And this is by training Spanish speaking staff who provide workshops or who are parent facing. In our curriculum, you would learn how to do a workshop, and we would coach you through the whole implementation phase of the workshops. And this, we would unlock our toolkit, our decks, our scripts, and we would coach you until you feel comfortable doing a workshop all on your own. The first workshop we usually co-facilitate so that you feel comfortable, and then we can keep doing that until you're ready to do it on your own. We also help with the sending of the 5 books, all the stuff that we would do in a regular workshop. And then we actually invite anyone who's ever been trained in facilitation of La Fuerza to a community of practice. And this it happens quarterly. And this is kind of the support village for the facilitators. You would join facilitators nationwide and make sure that we have any updates to the curriculum because we stay up to national standards. Any opportunities for professional development in outreach or recruitment. And also this is a space for knowledge sharing and networking where maybe someone from a different state is going through the same issue and what they did to overcome that challenge. And this is just a space where you can feel comfortable to really ask questions when it comes to outreach and engaging Spanish speaking families. And then we are here to make sure that, that we're here to support families, Spanish speaking families in an innovative way, and to always, to help prepare our children for the school year. And that is pretty much La Fuerza. And I saw a couple questions. I have a couple links that I will be sharing on the group chat. But if anyone has any questions, please let me know.
Ok, dame ver si veo algunas preguntas.
Yo tenía una pregunta. ¿Cuándo es que comienza? Porque es like the series start in January, and then what's the length of time?
So we host national workshops every month, and it's usually, let me actually, Rosana, do you mind if I share my screen so I can share the calendar?
Just share. Go ahead.
Perfect. So if you go to our website, you're able to see, oh, it says host disabled participant screen sharing. You might have to make me a co-host.
Sorry, Stephanie. Give me
problem.
1 second, please. Okay. You should be.
Perfect. So here we have our website, and you're able to para padres right here. And then you can see talleres. And when you go here, we have always our calendars up. The next session starts on January 22nd to February 2nd. And then our Leendo en Casa, our next Leendo en Casa is going to be January 18th. And these update every month. But we can also, because we are funded this year by William Penn, we are able to do direct service workshops for free for any provider or any CBO that is currently in Philadelphia. If you want to get trained, that is the professional development would also be free under the William Penn Foundation. And then you have our videos here. You can also watch our season 2 of the telenovela. Here we have our La Fuerza de Creer 2, and I'll also share that link on the chat. And I will share also the promo code for La Fuerza de Creer 4 so that you guys can have access to that as well. And then I'll also share my Calendly link to anyone who would like to set up a meeting with me to maybe see if there's workshops in your future or professional development.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie. A question that I have, I did hear Philadelphia, but are we also covering outside of Philadelphia? Or is this, I know it's a national organization.
So nationally, we do work nationally, but the funding for William Penn is Philadelphia. But we also work with a lot of different national funding. So it could be at no cost to your organization under different grants that we have available.
Amazing. Okay, great. Okay. I don't see any other questions. Damaris, do you see any?
No, I don't see any questions at all. Sounds amazing. I'll be calling you soon.
No problem. Look forward to connecting with everybody.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Gracias, gracias. Let me reshare my screen so I can show the deck of slides.
And Stephanie put her information inside the chat for those of you that are interested in contacting her.
Nice picture, by the way.
Yeah, Stephanie, love it. So si quieren hacer una foto.
I had to update it, and I was at a conference, and I was like, I'm wearing La Fuerza pink.
And you had like, these slides match the Fuerza pink. So
yeah,
there you go. Thank you so much. All right. Aquí le presento a Sean Perkins, Chief of Early Childhood Education, City of Philadelphia, Office of Children and Families. Sean.
Buenas tardes. Thank you, Damaris. I'll do a little bit of Spanglish too whenever I can, but I'll primarily be speaking in English. You will not see any wonderful photos of me in any of my presentation, but well done, Stephanie, and love your organization, by the way. Hello, wanted to share with you quickly that, we have a new mayor starting on January 1st in Philadelphia, and I work for the mayor's office in Philadelphia to make sure that we are meeting the preschool needs of families and children in Philadelphia. And you know that this city, Philadelphia, added 5,250 new seats that are available to families. That's free full-day pre-K. Many of you have centers that have PHL pre-K. Many of you have been applying as well, and want to say thank you for your commitment to children and families. That when we added those 5,250 seats, now at 234 new sites across Philadelphia, we may have had some ripple effects across like Head Start or pre-K counts or Head Start supplemental and all the other funding streams that I'm suggesting to the next administration that when we expand, we should be more delicate and we should be more pointed and maybe slow it a little bit more to reconcile all of the impacts we have had on the preschool sector in Philadelphia. With that being said, we've been working with many different organizations, so some members of LEJ as well, but I want to present these to you to get some more feedback that in the transition to the next administration, we have developed 7 key priorities for the next mayor. And these key priorities are largely so that way we can be as aligned as possible in our communication, that some of us are meeting with mayoral transition team members, or even myself. I will have a meeting with Madam Mayor Parker to discuss what my priorities are, and I want to be sure I'm reflecting the needs of the communities we intend to serve. With that, I've drafted these priorities, and I want to call out these 7. I've categorized them into 2 categories to hopefully reflect some of the campaigning that Sherelle Parker and her team have coordinated, which are really strengthening a foundation. You know, when we talk about infrastructure or foundation, what I'm suggesting is we need to better support our current workforce, money, facilities, professional development, feelings of worth, all of those. So I'm saying to strengthen the foundation, number 1, support our current workforce. Number 2, we need to build our pipeline. That who is the future teachers that are responsible for our children's playful learning, their health safety every single day, that we need to build that pipeline. The third is to maximize all of our investments, all of the dollars that we get from the federal government, the state, and of course locally that we have in the beverage tax. And whatever other dollars we might have available, that we need to maximize these. When we added PHL pre-K, we've had a lot of effects on the Head Start and the pre-K counts dollars and the seats that we have in Philadelphia. We don't need to lose any more. We have too many families who are not being served. We need to be smarter with how we use those dollars. So like I said, the first category under strengthening the foundation is supporting our workforce, building a future pipeline, and to maximize our investments. And the second category is to meet our community needs. And I think that really reflects what Sherelle has been campaigning and really what I understand she and her team values, and quite frankly, what I value and what other leaders in my position values. We are not practitioners. I am not in a classroom. I have done my work there, but now I'm in an administrative role, and I want to make sure I reflect what those who are serving our families and our teachers and our centers wish. And the first is really around interventions. For our children who need an additional support, we know that the behavioral mental health needs are our primary goal number 1. But also just in general, how do we support children who need language intervention, children who need additional physical or intellectual intervention supports? That the way we identify and get those services to families, I do not believe that they are equitable. I believe that we have more of an equal approach, but really there are some who have more severe needs that are urgent, that are not being met. So remodeling that, starting with mental and behavioral health, I would say is a priority to meet our community needs. And that's why it's first on this list here. The second one, but priority number 5, is expanding access. I'm suggesting only in geographic areas where we need it most, where we don't have enough seats. And I have a list of those priority zip codes for you, as well as our infant and toddler population. We need to better advocate for more funding for infants and toddlers. I think we only have a couple hundred in Philadelphia. We need thousands, right? We have 20,000 children born every year in Philadelphia, and we have a couple hundred seats to meet those needs. That is not meeting the continuum of care. So expanding access for the ages and the places where we need it. We need a one-stop shop for enrollment and access. Families have been saying this everywhere. The way by which they get free pre-K, they have to go to the free Philly pre-K site, or they go to the school district site, or they go to Greater Philly Schools, or they go to Oakdale site. What is it? I forget, Compass. They go to the Compass site. Too many sites for families. Give them one place and don't make them choose all the different funding sources. Make them choose what's best for their family. Like, what does the family need most? What is the center that's best for them? Let us on the administrative level figure out how to apply all the funding, but let families be informed and let them choose what's best for them. And the last one is more regular and meaningful stakeholder engagements. That's been a core priority of Madam Mayor Parker and her team. And I think that it's crucial for our sector too, to make sure that we have more of these conversations and that they're actually meaningful for change. I'm going to stop there and ask for additional feedback. The only other thing I want to mention is that I haven't shared with you all, but I have a list of like how. So when you say support the workforce and you want to pay them more, like how are you going to do that? I have a series of recommendations to give to the mayor's office, but I want to wait first to make sure that I have the right priorities. And also, the city can only do so much. I think that there is like some dollars maybe it should invest, but also what is some influence in policy you can use.
Quiero abrir
Thank you.
la puerta para ver si alguna persona tiene algunas preguntas con los
Yo tengo una
planes.
pregunta.
Ujú.
My question for Sean is, I recently was on one of the listening sessions for Octel, and the priorities that I see here are very similar to some of the priorities that were mentioned there from providers. Specifically the first one of taking care of the workforce and, wages for the workforce and things like that. How did these priorities come up? Were there a team? Was it a survey that was made? I just want to know where they came from.
Yeah, all of the above. So all of the above has happened, and that's part of my meeting with you all. So I met with Damaris too, and a series of other leaders too, and this is very grateful for the folks here. And certainly at first up, Carol and Tyrone I engage with as well. But a series of leaders and surveys that we had to better understand what is the needs. So we've been presenting these, gathering feedback. I'll be honest, like expanding access wasn't originally on this, but we've heard from enough families and from providers that we need more. And maybe it's not so much pre-K 3 and 4, which we still need some, but I'm suggesting we need to right size a little bit, but that our infant and toddler populations are absolutely a need. So it's been evolving, and that's why we're doing this, because we know the needs continue to evolve. But by and large, the workforce piece is the first one, and the behavioral health of children is the second. Like those two are the absolute top priorities we've been hearing.
So one of the questions, and this is a conversation that kept coming up and through our focus groups, the Land and Live focus groups. One of them was special needs. And there's an organization, I think Maritza, if you're on the call, puede hablar de esto, pero there's an organization in North Philadelphia that is called HUME, and it's a special needs unit. And it supports families, right, in the Latinx community with IEPs and support services and so on and so forth. But they started scaling back because of funding, because they didn't have enough funding, right? And Elwyn dominates Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. So with that being said, a lot of the families, Hispanic families, are left out in the dust because Elwyn does not have the capacity to really meet their needs with the language barriers, right? And the cultural connection, I guess, with the families there. So there's a lot of families that are, we already know that there's a lot of children not being serviced, but there's a lot of children, those numbers are doubled in the Hispanic community because of the lack of access to an organization to be able to support them, right? And their families' needs. Is that something that when remodeling the intervention, is that something that's going to be thought of?
Absolutely. I would not say that that's like a thing that I have on a list, but I'm now realizing we should have a list, and that should go on it. Yeah. It sparked me a little bit to think, Damaris, that with the city of Philadelphia, we have something called, because we heard from enough families that said navigating the evaluation and then going through the process is complicated and hard, and it takes a lot for English speaking families. That for non-native English speakers, it's almost like the people give up. They go, it's not even worth me trying.
Right.
So something you're making me think about is that we hired someone to help families navigate that process, and we call them a family navigator. It's making me think we should have a Spanish speaking family navigator, like somebody who's helpful, who like holds your hand through this process. This is the value of this conversation, of this meeting, is exactly that, is we should have that. So thank you.
You're welcome. Marisa,
Cora does great. I see that. I know that there's a couple of other organizations that have been really improving their approaches. But I'm still saying we need to remodel the way this was developed under federal laws, 50 years ago, is not meeting the needs of families today. And I know that it's hard to make those changes, but I think that we can be innovative to this. Again, for children who who are not in the least restrictive environment is not working, that they need something more, these are the years to do it. And we need to do it right now. And too often we go, this is super complicated, these systems. Let the kindergarten or first grade school, let them figure it out. And by that time, we're setting families back, and it predominantly harms persons of color, people of the Latinx community, because they haven't been engaged in the same way that white people have been treated.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. ¿Alguna pregunta más? O Marisa, si tú querías incluir más cosas, que yo sé que tú estabas hablando de Hume. No sé si esto está ahí. I'm not really sure, Arlene, if Hume is just for the Hispanic community. So just on waiting for people, just in case they have questions, I did have a secondary question and comment to the expand access to pre-K. So how does this increasing slots, how does that affect, and what is the framework in including family child care providers that do not offer PHL pre-K or Head Start for that matter? And if you're making a universal application, where are they left?
Absolutely included. It would be the same to me as like whether you're in a school-based setting, family care setting, group setting, or the commercial setting. Yeah, I actually think that we should be doing more for family childcare centers. Like there's an equity component to that, where they don't have the same economies that the larger organizations have access to.
Right.
So in an equity standpoint, I think the family childcare centers need additional help and support, but they're included. They're part of this, yes.
So even if they don't have PHL pre-K slots, like for instance, if a family comes in and wants to apply, has a 3-year-old and wants to apply, that family has options to go into a family child care center.
I'm saying publicly funded, meaning like Head Start,
right?
Pre-K counts, PHL pre-K, Head Start supplemental.
Right.
Those are the publicly funded groups that we oversee.
So how does that support? I'm just thinking out the box, right? And as a PHL pre-K Head Start provider as well, would that affect the family child care providers and their businesses if they are not Head Start grantees or?
So if they're not getting public funds, like they only rely on private paying,
or ELRC, right?
Or ELRC, yeah. So if they get CCW, like if they only have CCW, they should go through the ELRC still. That's the place we go.
That's the referral process.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we should build a system where we include that as well, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
We're just starting with these free full day programs that we have within our world. Yep. I want to get that right. Let's get that right. And there are family childcare centers that get that funding. Yeah. Let's get that right. And then I think let's add in the others as well.
Thank you. So, ¿hay algunas preguntas para Sean? ¿O algunos comentarios? I see Arlene put in the chat box. I belong to mom groups, and early intervention comes up when we get help for their child. Where can we get help for their child?
Yeah. I think it's really hard, and I apologize. I have to do this same presentation at 2:00, so I'm going to run. But
yes,
Elwyn is the responsible agency for Philadelphia. So the state of Pennsylvania is required to identify in each region, they receive federal funds in order to meet the early intervention needs, to screen children and to provide those services. So Elwyn is your first place of contact, and they have forms and phone numbers by which you reach out to them. I know there's a couple of other places that don't receive like public funds that you could go to, but as a public servant who works for the city, I would recommend you start with Elwyn. I am very aware of the delays they have. Yeah.
Yeah, I can share that information. Thank you so much, Sean. I know you have to run. We really appreciate you being here. If there's any questions, I'll just email them over to you, because I know you will be more than happy to answer.
Happy holidays, Sean.
So much.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. Ok, so si hay alguna pregunta para Sean, usted tenía que ir, por favor, ponlo en el chat o si no, lo puede mandar un correo electrónico y we will make sure, in my Spanglish voice, that Sean gets it. So ahora voy a presentar mi amiga Rosana Matos, Early Learning Program Engagement Specialist at First Up. Rosana, you need a new title. Okay, go.
I don't even know what that means.
It means-
Oh, this is recorded. All right. Y rapidito quería mencionar, voy a hablar en español, quería mencionar que Sean sí puso su correo electrónico también en el chat box, si acaso lo necesitan para hacerle más preguntas o hacerle una pregunta basado a lo que compartió. Bueno, ahí está, Rosana Matos, Early Learning, de First Up, todo eso, sí. Quiero darle alguna información que no lo tengo en la pantalla, no lo tengo en los slides, solo quiero mencionar así rapidito. Esta semana que pasó, al principio de semana tuvimos el Actel y Start Strong PA, tuvo un listening session. Ese listening session era para ustedes como proveedores entrar a la llamada, y creo que le envié varios correos sobre esto, entrar a la llamada para que escuchen algunos de los anuncios que tienen, pero también hacen sus preguntas directamente a la subsecretaria o Deputy Secretary, Shantae Brown, que estaba ahí presente. Entonces, algunos de ustedes estuvieron en la llamada y desafortunadamente no hubo traducción en español para esa llamada, pero sí lo va a ver para la próxima llamada que va a ser el lunes. También yo le envié ya esa información a ustedes por correo. Si no lo recibieron, es que quizás yo no tenga tu correo electrónico. Por favor, póngalo en el chat. Pero yo estaré ahí el lunes para esa reunión. Y van a ver traducción en español también. Por favor, digan presente. Las reuniones para los counties, no es para el área de Filadelfia ni para el área de Allentown, pero vengan a esa reunión. Hay información que es general para Pensilvania y es importante que ustedes estén ahí y entienden, ¿verdad? Porque lo van a tener en español, para que lo entiendan mejor en su idioma y que hagan sus comentarios, cuando yo digo que ese chat box se explote de comentarios en español, que ustedes hagan su comentario, hagan su pregunta para que ellos vean la necesidad que hay para que haya más personas que hablan español, como dijo Sean. Necesitamos una persona que hable en español, ¿verdad? Que sea bilingüe en esta área. Necesitamos que ustedes también se den a escuchar, porque si no hay comentarios, si no hay preguntas, entonces, ¿qué van a pensar? Que no hay una necesidad, y sí lo hay. Por favor, vengan a esa llamada el lunes. Yo sé que yo voy a estar al de la 1, dijeron que iba a haber 2 diferentes, no sé cuál es la otra, pero yo sé que yo voy a estar al de la 1.
Ahí le puse en el chat, le puse el link para que se puedan registrar para ese. No dice, perdón, dice Elwin. I'm sorry. Dice Elwin arriba, pero eso no es Elwin. Le estaba
Pero
dando
ese
Elwin
es de
a.
registrar.
I think I was sharing elwin.org where Arlene and didn't share it before. So the link that I'm putting in the chat right now is to the meeting, the Octal listening session, the one that has the Spanish translations on Monday. So, por favor, regístrase con su tiempo, regístrase así porque representación es muy importante cuando hablando con Actel. Muchísimos de ustedes se reunieron con nosotros y dijeron, queremos cambio. So, aquí es la oportunidad de dar cambio. They're listening to you.
Yes,
Sorry, Rosana, go.
No, gracias. Es importante. El otro anuncio que quería decirle es que ya hemos comenzado nuestra temporada de visitar a Harrisburg con caravana y también con eventos de visibilidad. Tuve que decirle eso muy lento. Pues sí, ahora que están en sesión, que han regresado de vacaciones y ya están los legisladores en sesión, ahora tenemos eventos que van a pasar en el próximo año y queremos que sí ustedes nos acompañen, que venga conmigo, que traigan una familia y que por favor comparten de esa fecha, que participen. Sé que este año que ha pasado participaron varias personas que están en esta llamada y le agradezco que pasaron su tiempo conmigo en Harrisburg, o si no fueron conmigo y fueron con Damaris o con otra persona de mi oficina. Qué bueno, porque se nota que esto es importante. El trabajo de abogacía, el trabajo de tú ser un defensor es importante. So, por favor, cuando esas fechas salgan, cuando reciban ese correo, anótense y ven. Ok. ¿Verdad? Que estoy mirando los chat box. No es para mí, yo creo. Y recuerda que cuando ustedes participan de esos eventos así, hay incentivos a través de Leadership in Action. Hay incentivos para ustedes. Y perdóname si algunas personas están en la llamada y han visto que hay un retraso en incentivos que de ustedes. Algunos de ustedes participaron en noviembre de cerrar su programa más tarde y quizás no han recibido ese incentivo en el correo. Por favor, perdóname, ha habido un par de retrasos. El ELPA, el año de ellos fiscal, culmina en noviembre. Entonces, ese proceso de cambiar año fiscal y eso han demorado un poco de esos incentivos llegaron de ustedes. Anoten esta fecha, ya pronto, creo que para el lunes o el martes recibirán un correo mío sobre esto, pero vamos a hacer una sesión de información sobre preparándose para Kindle y esto va a ser enero 17, so January 17. Enero 17 vamos a tener otra sesión de preparándose para Kindle a las 1 y a las 6 de la tarde para que los padres participen, los maestros o ustedes, director o dueño de negocio, pueden también participar. Lo escogimos para esa fecha así tan temprano. Quizás algunos de ustedes dirán, ¿por qué tan temprano? Si el kindergarten no empieza hasta septiembre para mi estudiante. Entre más temprano mejor, porque durante ese último año con ustedes en preescolar, ese niño se está preparando desde el día primero, ¿verdad? Que llegó con ustedes. En enero, en esa misma semana, comienza la registración de kindergarten aquí en Filadelfia. Me parece que en Allentown también cercano a esa fecha. Y queremos que ustedes tengan esa información a la mano para que se lo pueda enseñar a los padres.
Y también las aplicaciones para charter schools, ¿verdad? Y entre más temprano, the charter
Y
school
culminan
applications.
durante ese tiempo esas aplicaciones. So, por favor, vengan para que tengan esa información. Ya luego le voy a dar el registro y todo eso. Ay, déjame ver en mi gran lista de cosas que quería decir, pero no tengo los slides. Ok. All right, ahora sí, lo que tengo en el slide, vuelvo y presento esta información. El mes pasado, en noviembre, la presenté una encuesta que queríamos saber de ustedes y gracias a las muchas personas que participaron sobre esa encuesta. Ahora quiero decirles que están las aplicaciones abiertas. Estas aplicaciones son para que participe en lo que nosotros vamos a llamar el círculo de aprendizaje, o en inglés estamos diciendo el Hispanic ECE Fellowship. Esto es un grupo de personas que quieren participar para conocer más sobre la defensa o la abogacía, y ese mismo grupo de personas también van a conocer un poco más sobre el mundo de ECE, de Early Childhood Education, y cómo ese mundo surgió, ¿verdad? De qué necesidad surgió, cómo las comunidades, distintas comunidades se aprovechan de la información y de este recurso, y cómo algunas comunidades no, ¿verdad? Por miedo quizás a deportación, por miedo a diferentes cosas, no participan de los servicios que están disponibles para ellos. So, por favor, si ustedes están interesados a entrar en este grupo, va a ser un grupo escogido, ¿verdad? Con tu aplicación, nosotros vemos respuesta y eso, y hemos escogido. Este trabajo va a ser en conjunción con nuestro socio en esto, Learn, Empower, Grow, que ustedes lo han visto aquí en estas reuniones. Van a ser 5 sesiones, van a ser de febrero a junio, mensual, 5 sesiones, 3 en persona, 2 virtuales. Va a haber, tú sabes, más incentivo y más cosas por decir, pero por favor, si tiene un momentito, Saquen su teléfono, escaneen aquí. Puedo ponerlo en el chat box. I wish I would have had that ready again. Remember, tengo una computadora nueva y se me ha perdido las cosas. No
I
sé
could
ni.
put it in for you. I could put it, go ahead. You could keep presenting.
You
no
have
problem.
it? You have it available
You're looking for
somewhere?
this link, ¿verdad? Para este link que está aquí, para registrarse.
Sí,
Sí,
ese.
yo lo puedo poner ahora, dame un segundo. Or maybe
Ah,
not. It's not letting me do it.
yo lo tengo aquí, dame ver. Sí,
Okay.
yo lo tengo aquí. Copy. Es que tengo so many things open. Pero en esto va a ser en español, va a ser en español. Y va a ser, yo voy a ser la facilitadora para este grupo y una compañera que se llama Stephanie Adorno, quizá ustedes algunos las conocen y puedan participar.
¿Y quién no conoce a Stephanie Adorno?
Stephanie Adorno. Dime si puede entrar a ese enlace, Damaris, y entra a la aplicación.
Déjame chequear. Sí, so aquí está el enlace y pude yo entrar. So si quieren registrarse, se pueden registrar ahí. Y-
So, la aplicación está en línea, la voy a demostrar aquí un momentito. Está en línea, te habla las preguntas son en inglés y español. Y son varias preguntas y sencillas para conocer de ti, tu preferencia, pero después hay unas preguntas como más como para que tú digas un poquito más de tu trabajo y la forma en que tú piensas que puedes hacer cambios en el mundo de ECE. So, hay diferentes preguntas. Si usted necesita ayuda con esta aplicación, si realmente desea participar, necesita ayuda, escríbeme un correo que con mucho gusto saco tiempo para ayudarte con la aplicación para que puedan participar. Recibirán horas picuas. También estoy buscando ahora mismo, estamos en trámite de conversaciones para otros incentivos mejores. Pero vamos a ver. ¿Alguna pregunta sobre la información que presenté sobre el listening sessions con Actel, las caravanas, el momento de visibility? Damaris, creo que estamos pensando en otra caravana grande, ¿verdad? De Latinos Educando Juntos para mayo. So, vamos a
Sí,
ver si.
estamos tratando para ver si podemos ir para Hispanic Caucus, como fuimos. El año pasado teníamos como 40 gente que fueron con nosotros. Este año queremos doble, si posible, pero
Doble, sí.
doble. Te voy a llamarle la existencia, porque hicimos mucho, ¿verdad? Cuando nosotros fuimos allá, yo creo que una organización también trajo a una mamá con unos niños también. Y reunirnos allá es muy importante para que ellos vean que la comunidad hispana somos unidos y estamos pidiendo que ellos lo escuchan nuestras necesidades, porque así nada más va a haber los cambios que nosotros necesitamos, ¿verdad? So, vamos a tener una guagua, una van, o no una van, un bus, ¿verdad? Pero todavía estamos felicitando todo ese movimiento. Cuando terminamos ya con los planes, entonces nosotros lo dejamos dicho a ustedes para que puedan venir y a unirse con
Gracias.
nosotros.
Yes. Y una cosa que quería mencionar, este círculo de aprendizaje, el fellowship sería en español, ¿verdad? Pero si hay una persona en la llamada que prefería estar en un inglés, sabes que First Up sí tiene uno en inglés que me parece que va a estar comenzando en agosto o septiembre. So, por favor, si eso es algo que le interesa, también hay una oportunidad en inglés, pero este será exclusivamente en español. All right, so no me pregunta. Voy a poner mi correo electrónico en el chat para que me digan si necesita ayuda con la aplicación o si quieren más información. Me pueden escribir, me pueden llamar si tienen su número, el número, me manda un mensaje de texto también. So, muchas gracias. Vamos ahora con una presentación especial de Martha G. The CEO of Ideal Philadelphia or Phila.
Thank you, Rosanna.
Gracias.
I'm gonna do this in English. Sorry.
Go ahead. We
Como
got
tú quieras,
interpreters.
inglés.
Okay,
sin-
Ideal is helping the community business owners, focusing on childcare provider assistance as far as, you know, business professional services, not just accounting. And social marketing, we built websites. And I want to talk to you about storytelling. In the 13 years that I've been in this industry, I have seen and heard so many stories as to why, your why of opening up a daycare and starting your business. And that is so important nowadays for people to hear that engagement. It's all about emotional support with parents, parents seeking that, how can I explain that, that safety blanket, right? And so telling your story may engage that parent to, you know, convey that trust in you. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about storytelling, a feature called AI today, and how you can put it into play in your business to increase enrollments, help employees, etc. So we can go to the next slide.
Martha,
If we
before you
can,
go to the
please.
next slide, I'm not really sure if you can move
Yep.
from when you add a little bit or just check because you're coming in and out.
I would
Can you
say
say-
sometimes it helps also
Is
just
that
to turn
good?
off the camera.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now if you want to turn off the camera
Yeah,
too. Like
because
you
I
said,
think
yeah.
this is too much.
Vamos a apagar la
Okay,
cámara para que
thank
ella
you.
te pueda. Okay, gracias. Thank you.
Okay. Is that better? Can everybody hear me better?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Awesome. Okay. So the power of storytelling in childcare provider business. A childcare business is a compelling strategy to communicate the essence, values, and uniqueness of your child care center. It involves crafting a narrative that resonates with parents, staff, and the community. Next slide. Thank you. How to use storytelling. Storytelling is not just about words any longer, right? Because now we have the internet, we have digital social media platforms, and you can convey it through your website. So for example, if a parent is new in the area and is looking for childcare, they may not want a big, huge center. Maybe they want something family orientated, right? So when they're seeking for that, your storytelling within that particular website will tell the parent that you're a family owned, and your values and your culture, the things you do for the community, all those things play a big part in enrollments, and in parent making that decision as to where they're going to decide to put their child, right? Trust their child. So it's very important that you share photos, that you share videos. People make decisions out of a watching state, right? Next slide, please. So the storytelling can also increase, right, parent engagement. Some parents won't be so engaged in the things that the child does, right? Because they're always working. Maybe having that communication where they can then later on at night possibly engage, right? If it's already posted on your website, if it's posted on your calendar, they can take a look at the next day, what's happening the next day. You know I'm a parent that forgets everything, so I got to look at a calendar. Improve employee retention. Employees, they want to know, who am I going to work for, right? And telling your story plays a huge part as well, because they want to share the same values, make sure that your facility it contains the stuff that they believe in, right? Or their culture as well. Increase enrollments. You utilize it to increase enrollments because that's how you attract your parents, right? And so when you attract your parents, you increase your enrollment. Next slide.
Before you go to the next slide, can I just say something?
Yep.
So cuando,
Sure.
and I'm just going to say it in Spanish, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Cuando uno está diciendo la historia de los programas de ustedes y más con los niños, ¿verdad? O los empleados. En el chat yo puse un ejemplo de lo que Marta me está aplicando hoy. Es un video. Y el video tenemos los empleados hablando en por qué eso es ello, que ellos trabajan en nuestra organización. So, a tener videos y a tener fotos, si no tienen una página de web, tal vez tienen un social media, tal vez tienen un Facebook o lo que sea, y compartir esas historias en por qué es que los empleados están con ustedes o trabajan con ustedes en la organización de ustedes, es bien importante para tratar más gentes y más empleados, ¿verdad? Y aparte de eso, con los niños y las familias que ustedes tienen, si tienen permisos para sacarle la foto, porque primero es todo con permiso, ¿verdad? Porque tú no quieres buscarte problemas si los padres no quieren que tú le saques foto a los niños. Pero si ustedes obtenieron permisos por los niños, pueden hacer videos de los niños dentro de tu programa. Hasta puede hacer videos ni sin enseñarles la cara de ellos. Si es una fiestecita ahora para las Navidades, ¿cómo ustedes celebran eso? Dile esa historia. Nosotros comenzamos con un rompehielo aquí hoy, esta mañana, cuando comenzamos, perdón, no esta mañana, y preguntamos cómo ustedes celebran los niños en sus organizaciones para las Navidades, ¿verdad? So, ustedes todito tenían muchísimas cosas bellas que compartieron con nosotros, pero tienen que compartirlo con el mundo. ¿Tú sabes por qué? Porque ustedes hacen tantas cosas bellas con los niños y adentro de sus programas y muchísima gente no lo sabe. So, es una buena manera en cómo compartir con la comunidad de ustedes o tal vez en otro sitio, en qué es lo que ustedes hacen, por qué es que tu organización, tu Family Child Care, tu Group Child Center o el centro tuyo es un sitio especial para los padres y los niños entrar. Sorry, Marta, go.
No, that was good. Thank you. Could have done it better myself. Next slide. Now, some of the ways that storytelling can help is engaging emotionally. Storytelling creates an emotional connection with parents, leading to trust and loyalty, which Damaris just explained a little bit about. You know, you guys do a lot in the community, especially the smaller family and group daycares, right? You guys do so much and no one really knows who's behind the force. And doing what Damaris is saying, like, you know, putting it in social media. And I'm sure that you as a person, you have your own profile in social media, but it's so important to have the daycares because behind you, the person is your daycare. And it's important to make those connections. You'd be surprised how many people really don't know that you are a part of that daycare, right? Competition, you know, how do you set yourself apart of your competition? In all reality is your uniqueness, your own why, your own way of being, your culture, your values, all of those things are unique to you. And that's what sets you apart of your competition, right? So you can show that and convey that in your websites and your social media platforms. Enhance understanding, help parents better understand the benefits and values of your child care services. Some of you guys, like, for example, Maritza, that she deals with the Hune project and stuff, you know, how does the parent know this? They don't, and they may not even be comfortable, right, speaking with anyone else about the issues that are going on in their home. So conveying those messages through digital, social media, websites, and stuff like that will allow the person to actually obtain the resources. We got to help these other communities like Latinos Educando Junto, First Up, Octale, you know, get their voice out there. And you as a little pot can also convey that for us because you are out there, you are in the community, and people look up to you for those resources. And it might come across to somebody that, right, wouldn't normally contact you or see you out in the street, and you've changed somebody's life just through a digital platform. So it's so important for you to do that. Next slide. So I know it gets complicated because in your daily daily operations is so complicated. You are wearing so many hats throughout the day. What time do you have to actually post on social media, create a website, and do all of this stuff, right? There is a new tool called AI. It's called artificial intelligence. And it's very easy to use, but it can be complicated in a sense. I would like to have a feedback if you would like to see that in action, maybe a small basic training on AI. Maybe we can spend 15, 20 minutes on, let Damaris know, let Rosanna know, maybe we can do that. Just the really small basics on how to use it. It is the tool of the future, as they say. If you don't know of it right now, you are too late for the trend, right? So this is the upcoming way of the
No, you're never too late for the trend.
You're never too late, right? If you don't know the software, you're behind, is what they say.
Right.
So this particular AI is the one that everyone is comfortable using, which is a really basic AI, can help you do all these things. So next slide, please.
Do you have a link for that one? I didn't catch it on the thing. I put in the chat, OpenAI. This is for Chat GPT.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the
okay.
free one, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Also,
yes,
just to give everybody a heads up, this is in Spanish and English.
Yes, it is, has different languages. It's Spanish, English, Chinese, whatever it is, your languages, it will convey it with you. Yeah, it would translate it for you if you want to. Or you can speak to it in any language, actually. So just to give you a little sense of what really AI is, it's like a robot that you don't see, right? And it has the intelligence of a computer, and it also can act as a human, if that makes any sense to you. So you can ask it questions, but you'd have to give it details in order to get the answer. And again, we can go through this. We're going to run out of time, so I'm not going to get into how that looks, but we can get a little training, maybe basic 101. So you can use it for childcare business. You can create personalized, efficient, and engaging experience for both parents and employees. This in turn can contribute to increased enrollments by using AI. Because with AI, you can also create lessons. If you want specific lessons, if you want to create a schedule, if you want to know how to maneuver your ratios, you can have AI do all of this. Obviously not the basic one, but if you start to understand AI can help you in your daily operations to where you're not so exhausted at the end of the day. So next page, slide. So unleash the power of storytelling with myself and my team. You can go ahead to the other slide. We do website building, we do social media marketing, but we also teach you how to use those tools, how to do your own social media marketing. And we can train either a staff member or yourself, or together or as a group, so that everyone understands the legal aspect of digital marketing, and also be compliant and ensure that parents are engaged and everything else. So there's my information, and my team, all of my team speaks Spanish, very fluent. So please contact me if you need me. But that's basic 15, 20-minute training. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Does anybody have any questions? Because es mucho, ¿verdad? Con la tecnología, ya, ¿verdad? Para hacer la cosa, pero yo quería, I wanted to share something. Rosanna, si tú puedes, can you stop sharing for a minute so I can share something? We have like 5 minutes. Y quería compartir con ustedes cómo se ve cuando ustedes se meten. Yo le puse en el chat ese enlace, ¿verdad? Y esto es el primer tool de AI que ustedes pueden usar. Aquí dice interact with flagship language models and conversational interface and models into your application of businesses. So hay uno para los negocios y hay otro para conversaciones de diferentes lenguajes. So cuando se meten ahí, en cualquiera, ¿verdad? Porque pueden hablar va a pedir que ustedes pongan su información allá adentro. No tienen que pagarlo. Yo creo que ellos dan
Yeah,
crédito ahí de gratis.
it's free. It's free. The basic one is free, but then when you get into more depth, you have to, you know, pay for it. Yeah.
Ya, ya. Y déjame decirle que yo uso AI mucho, ¿verdad? Porque esto es como mi asistente. Esto es para la gente que escribe mucho, tal vez ustedes están viendo con familia, tienen reportes, tiene que a dar lo que sea, ¿verdad? Yo lo uso para cualquier cosa. So, yo me tomo la información de lo que yo estoy buscando, me dan y me dan para atrás tanta información. Si yo estoy haciendo un video o estoy haciendo un marketing recruitment plan para los niños o familias o para hasta los empleados, yo voy acá adentro y me ayudo. So, algunos de ustedes, yo trabajo con muchísimas organizaciones con Child Care Centers y lo primero que me piden es un job description, ¿verdad? So, pueden meterse aquí adentro y hacer, a decirle al AI, dame un job description, ¿verdad? Una descripción de un trabajo para una persona en la cocina, vamos a suponer, que trabaja en una cocina en un child care center aquí en Pensilvania o en Filadelfia o en Allentown, porque todo el mundo tiene diferentes regulaciones. Si necesitan también, vamos a suponer, un policy para su negocio, pueden hacerlo acá adentro, pero también les exijo que por favor tengan cuidado, ¿verdad? Con lo que ustedes escriben y estén seguros que todo machea, como que uno dice machea, as a Spanglish word, lo que las regulaciones en su estado dicen, lo que, right? So, eso es importante. Otra cosa que yo quería decir fue que Marta estaba hablando de haciendo storytelling y aquí le quiero compartir a ustedes otra cosa para los niños. Cuando nosotros estamos buscando niños en nuestras organizaciones, nosotros usamos mucho YouTube, ¿verdad? So aquí es que van todos los videos de la organización. Si nosotros estamos leyendo para los niños, nosotros leemos para los niños, lo que sea, compartimos con la familia, todo por YouTube. Y Marta le puede enseñar a ustedes en cómo hacer el YouTube channel para tu centro. So, está bien, ustedes tienen Facebook, pero tienen YouTube, a donde es que tú estás poniendo todas las cosas de ustedes, todos los videos y cosas así. Cuando nosotros estamos haciendo cualquier cosa, nosotros celebramos y lo compartimos con las familias. So, esto es uno, yo voy a apagarlo un poquito para que toque. So, esto es una cosa que nosotros hicimos para Thanksgiving, ¿verdad? Que era un evento multicultural, multicultural. Y ahí, aquí yo le estaba enseñando para las familias y todos que compartieron con el evento que nosotros tenemos. So, hicimos un video y nosotros compartimos este video con todos los niños, tan bellos que son, los bebés, los toddlers, los preescolar, las maestras celebrando México, algunas maestras estaban celebrando Italia, algunas maestras estaban celebrando diferentes países en ese día y nosotros enseñamos todo y ahí lo ponemos en el social media, ¿verdad? Lo ponemos en el website, la página de web de nosotros y lo ponemos en todos los sitios. A donde haya gente, nosotros estamos metiendo todos los videos para que ellos sepan las cosas que nosotros hacemos adentro de la organización de nosotros. So, es una buena forma, ¿verdad? De advertise. I don't know how to say advertise in Spanish, pero advertise los programas de ustedes, ¿verdad?
Anunciar.
Adentro de ¿cómo es? ¿Cómo es?
Anunciar.
Anunciar
Sí.
todas las cosas bellas que ustedes hacen dentro de la organización de ustedes para atraerles más tráfico a ustedes. Y aquí le doy gracias a Arlene Ray, que está aquí conectada con nosotros hoy. Ella es un autor de un libro unos libros que ella escribe, and she's our biggest supporter. Thank you so much, Arlene, for coming out. Y también Arlene vino y hizo unos read-alouds, enseñó los libros de ella a los niños y las familias que estaban allá adentro y le leyó a los niños también. So, si ustedes quieren que Arlene venga a los programas de ustedes y hacer maybe a read aloud o enseñarle los libros, maybe do book signing, lo que sea, pues Arlene, if you can put your information in the chat,
Thank
because
you.
I'm bigging you up.
Thank you. You know what? I'm so sorry. My granddaughter was here asking me to open her banana.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Your grandkids are important. I totally get it.
Thank you,
know,
so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I mean, I really appreciate the warm welcome that your center and the staff. Marcelino, I see you're here. Thank you so much for your help that day. It was really a great experience for me. It's transitioning from the preschool teaching into authorship, and then having to come back into the preschool setting. It was almost like I didn't leave, and you guys made me feel so welcome, and I really appreciate that. Everybody was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Arlene. Thank you. So, Arlene, if you could put your information in the chat. Hopefully some folks here would love your presence as well. And maybe after the new year, you can come around and come visit other programs as well.
I'd love to. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Rosanna, can you share the slides And thank you so much, Martha, for coming in to present wonderful AI tools. And if we could put Martha's information up again, para los que tengan intereses, pueden contactarte con Marta o si no con Arlene también, para que ella pueda venir a los centros sociales para leer los libros a los niños. Porque es muy importante que los niños vean representación, ¿verdad? De diferentes cosas. So there's authors, right? And Arlene escribe el libro en Chinese, en español y en inglés. So ella tiene libros en diferentes idiomas.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you.
Ahora presentamos a Damari Salvador Rodríguez.
La que está hablando todavía.
La que no está hablando. Presidente de Latinos Educando Juntos, con información, anuncios sobre la organización.
Okay. So esto nada más son algunos recordarios. I don't see the slides. I'm sorry.
Oh, ¿tú sabes qué? Sería bueno si if I present my screen, right?
That's okay. That's okay. Ya estamos en el first stretch. Ya casi estamos. Y perdona que me duele la garganta. Perdona que estoy un poquito rara hoy. All right,
Están
next.
con nosotros, que escriban algo en el chat para saber.
¿Verdad? Que parece que se me durmieron la
Escríbeme
gente.
algo. Que
Vamos, vamos, mi gente, que ya después de esto celebrar para la Navidad y el Año Nuevo y todo. Vamos a coger ojalá que ustedes tengan un tiempecito.
¿Dónde están?
Yeah. All right, next slide. Okay, so aquí les digo que el último Latin Left focus group que nosotros teníamos, va a ser en diciembre 20, es el último de 1 a 2. Muchísimas gracias a ustedes que se han conectado y se siguen conectando en sharing información con nosotros. Ustedes ya hablaron con Sean Perkins. Saben que yo me reúno mucho con él, me reúno mucho con Actel. Ellos están bien interesados en ver este reporte. So, el último es en diciembre 20, que es el próximo miércoles de 1 a 2. Aquí le doy el enlace, o si me pueden poner el enlace dentro del chat, se lo agradezco. Y se pueden conectar con nosotros. Para ustedes que se conectaron y no en toda esta semana, nosotros tenemos como unas tarjetitas pequeñas que todavía no lo han mandado, pero lo vamos a mandar hoy. Eso lo van a recibir. Si ustedes no lo recibió todavía, lo van a recibir. Es algo pequeño, pero mejor algo que nada. Si se pueden conectar y siguen conectando to share your voice, ¿verdad? Porque es muy importante. El topic para esta sección es Leadership Opportunities in the Latinx ECE Field. Okay, oportunidades, liderazgos en la comunidad hispana. Whoa, all right. Go, next slide. I know, I'm doing good. Okay, so ahora estoy muy emocionada de esta conferencia. La conferencia, segunda conferencia de nosotros vamos a ser en junio 15, so por favor guarde su calendar, ponlo ahí mismo. Es de 8:30 hasta las 3. Vamos a tener a Jaycee Tron Paez. Ella va a ser uno de los keynote speakers. Ella va a hablar de looking bilingüe, mirándose en español, en bilingüe. Y también hay un panel discussion. Estamos unos músicos, tenemos unas sorpresas para ustedes. Estamos esperando, el año pasado teníamos 118 participantes, este año esperamos igual o si no, no menos, pero más, y celebramos mucho, vamos a tener también el Teacher Awards. El año pasado nosotros elegimos 4, yo creo que fueron 4 o 5. Este año vamos nada más a elegir una persona across Pennsylvania, so esto para Pennsylvania, para Filadelfia, todito. Que sea hispano aquí en Pennsylvania o afuera, están muy bienvenidos a venir. A mí no me importa quién es. Like, es un sitio, es una de las primeras conferencias que es nada más en español. Okay, so nosotros we're going to have translation, vamos a tener gente, pero la traducción va a ser para la gente que no habla en español. Solo vamos a ser diferente este año. Si ustedes vinieron el año pasado, se tuvieron que usar audífonos para oír your keynote speaker. Este año, la gente que no habla en español son los que van a usar el keynote speaker. Nosotros vamos a ser la mayoría en ese cuarto, en esa conferencia. Todo en español, comida en español, por supuesto, música en español también. Vamos a celebrar nuestra cultura juntos y aprendiendo. Tenemos también 4, yo creo que son 5 secciones. Una sección es por la mañana, Looking Bilingüe, abogacía en la comunidad y latinas. Recuerden por qué. Recuerden porque ya en junio ya las maestras o los maestros ya están como dudándose, ¿verdad? Que si van a volver el próximo año o lo que sea. Si ustedes tienen maestros, mándalo para allá, que nosotros los vamos a recordar en por qué es que ellos deberían seguir trabajando con los niños para nuestras comunidades. Salud mental en las comunidades latinas en una sección y elevando la cartera de los maestros latinos. Ahí está el enlace, si pueden inscribirse. Yo sé que van a haber becas para algunas de los tickets. Yo creo que los tickets van a ser a $35, pero eso incluye la comida y todo, que va a estar ahí adentro. Hay rifas, hay toda esa cosa. Si nosotros recibimos becas, damos tickets también, dependiendo de lo que nosotros vayamos a recibir. Si se quiere registrar como una proveedor or an exhibitor, you can let us know. The link is there. Sign up as an exhibitor too. Okay, next slide, please.
También puse en el cuadro del chat el enlace para registrarse.
Thank you.
Y el enlace si quiere, ¿están buscando voluntario o algo así?
Aquí estamos. Estamos buscando voluntario y esto, por hacer voluntario, te da el ticket, por supuesto, entrar a la conferencia y con tu desarrollo profesional de gratis. Eso si están interesados para hacer un balancía dentro de la conferencia, ahí mi compañera Rosana le puso el link adentro del chat. Por favor, únense con nosotros, ayúdanos a nosotros, ayudarlo a ustedes, ¿verdad? Y se lo agradezco si pueden ayudarnos a nosotros. Next slide. Aquí está los desarrollos profesionales. Nosotros estábamos busy este año, señores. Nada más para decirle aquí que va a haber unos clases de CDA. Nada más hay fondos ahora mismo para gente que se cualifican en Filadelfia, porque nosotros no tenemos contrato afuera de Filadelfia, pero estamos en habladera para poder hacerlo y contratar afuera de Filadelfia para poder a llegar a Allentown o Reading o a donde quiera, ¿verdad? Estamos buscando fondos para eso, pero mientras tanto nada más estamos contratados con Filadelfia. Sí podemos hacer CDA afuera de Filadelfia, lo que pasa es que no lo pagan y eso es un costo para ustedes, right? Lo que ustedes quieran. Si necesitan CDA, me pueden llamar a contestar a LEJ. También el pedir CPR First Aid, ya ustedes saben, si tienen PDO funding de gratis, si cualifican. Si no, para los miembros de LEJ son $75 y si no son miembros son $90. Aquí está el costo de miembro y no miembro. Fire Safety también en persona, vamos a comenzar en enero 2024. Yo tengo ya la profesora que va a estar dando ese entrenamiento y ella aprobada por Acteo y aprobada por PDO. Lo que pasa fue que se me fue de vacaciones por un mes entero y ella no vuelve para atrás hasta enero. So, vamos a comenzar cuando nosotros comenzamos, le mandamos esa información. Y hay otros entrenamientos también que ya estamos probados, comprendiendo la inclusión de los niños, profesionalismo, prácticas éticas, intenciones positivas, observar y toda esa lista que están aquí, pero hay nuevos que nosotros tenemos que son recién, que asociadas a participación familias, introducción de mi palato, que por el CACFP program, a comprender la importancia de nutrición para los niños pequeños y comprender la importancia de los hábitos de alimenticios saludables. Ok. So, cualquier cosa que vayan a necesitar, nosotros lo vamos a comenzar ahora en enero. Vamos a poner todo este entrenamiento, todo, los días y todo, y después lo vamos a compartir with our newsletters o en correo electrónico con todas las fechas de todos los professional development. Si ustedes ven algo que ustedes necesitan y no lo ven aquí, llámanos, mándale un text, mándame un correo electrónico, mira, me hace falta esto, porque si nosotros nos podemos mandar, te podemos buscar sitio, ¿verdad? First Up también está haciendo secciones de español de Professional Development, tal vez una cosa que nosotros podemos buscar, advocate for you guys. Ok, next slide.
Una pregunta, ¿descuento para el grupo?
Sí, cuenta de grupos, los miembros son a $10 y los miembros son a 20.
Pero para grupos grandes, como si
Oh,
tengo
yes,
un centro
absolutely.
con 10, 15. Okay.
Absolutely. Déjame decirle que nosotros no estamos aquí para hacer dinero de ustedes. Eso es una unión. We're not a union. Okay? We're workable. Right? Nosotros estamos aquí para trabajar para ustedes. No podemos hacerlo gratis porque no hay fondos. Tú sabes que cuando vienen las becas grandes se lo dan a las organizaciones más grandes y se lo olvidan de nosotros. Pero para nosotros poder a seguir haciendo lo que nosotros tenemos que, queremos hacer por ustedes, necesitamos cobrar algo para poder pagar el language translator, tú sabes, y pagar las otras cosas que nosotros tenemos también, right? So, todo impuesto. So, yes, siempre hay para contestarte eso. Si un grupo grande, llama and we'll work with you. Okay. Ok, yo estoy mirando el grupo de Facebook y el social media de nosotros y está triste, señores. Por favor, métese en el Facebook porque tengo tanto que compartir con ustedes y nada más de 2 o 3 gente. Pero, I know, right? Ustedes son tan lentos. Métese por Facebook para nosotros bochinchar en Facebook. Podemos hacer nuestro telenovela, porque a veces tengo que esperar un ratito para poder mandar esos correo electrónico, me coge más tiempo, pero como anoche salió ese anuncio de la beca, ¿verdad? Y no pude ponerlo en Facebook porque nadie está en Facebook. So, si ustedes pueden conectarse en Facebook, se lo agradezco. Si hay noticias, lo pueden recibir ahí mismo rápido. Y muchísima gente, no ustedes, muchísimos proveedores no miran el correo electrónico tampoco, pero sí se conectan en Facebook. So, así para que no pierdan noticias ni nada. Next slide. Facebook.
Dije, en el chat puse, ahora mismo hay 335 personas que siguen la página de Facebook. Vamos a llegar a 350 ahora. Porque en esta llamada hay más de 15 personas y se puede. Sé que algunos de nosotros ya sí lo tenemos en nuestro Facebook, pero vayan y buscan a Latinos Educando Juntos, les da like.
Y recomienda a otras personas si me hace el favor. Ok, next. Y ya estamos, señores, ya. Ok, aquí está la encuesta de salida de nosotros. Necesitamos sus comentarios. So, sí, por favor, si pueden coger 5 minutos, ni 5, son 4 minutos para poder contestar el survey, porque estas encuestas son muy importantes para nosotros, porque así la gente puede ver cuando yo estoy hablando y estoy begging for something, cuando yo digo, ok, esta gente dijeron, esta comunidad dijeron tal cosa, ellos dicen where. So ahí yo puedo darle la encuesta, mira, ellos se conectaron y esto, y sí, nosotros hicimos esto. En lo que ustedes están ahí llenándome la encuesta, exit survey, please fill them out because we need your feedback. I want to take a moment para darle las gracias a todos ustedes. Para and I'm going to say this in English because my Spanish is going to be so chopped up. Quiero darle well, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for where LEJ started with Rosanna. You know, we just started saying we want a platform where people can get together and feel heard after COVID. And then we just grew and grew and grew. And, you know, the first few months, it was people desahogándose, right? They were just like, had a space, a safe space for them to speak about the injustices that were happening, the inequities, the gaps. And today, almost 3 years later, we are here today celebrating, closing out another year, right? Getting ready for the holiday, getting ready to celebrate, to be thankful. I'm just so thankful for you guys. I'm thankful to my colleague, Rosanna. I'm thankful to Marcelino. I'm thankful to so many of you, Maritza. If I miss your name, I'm so sorry. I love you guys all. I'm thankful for each and every one of you, Martha, from my board. You know, I'm just really amazed. I'm amazed at how far we've gone. So with that being said, Allentown, if you're still on the call, and if you're not, I'm going to let you know. I have a meeting next week with your local ELRCs, and they will be connected every meeting, just like Octo is. So that way, when there's things that are happening or there's connections to be made, you have direct access. So that I wanted to just say that and share that just to let you know that's how LEJ, that's how much LEJ values each and every person that's connected to this call. If you need something, we are here for you. So that was it. With that, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, all that other stuff. So mark your calendars. Aquí es special guest. Esto es para enero 19. La próxima reunión, el año nuevo 2024, de 1 a 3, va a estar Nero a través de Acteo. Ojalá que ella tenga más beca para nosotros, porque a mí me gustan esas sorpresas. ELRC Region 14 Allentown, lo puse aquí como TBD para ver si ellos vienen ese día, si no en febrero, pero sí estamos peleando para ustedes. Natalie Renew no pudo venir en esta reunión, solo la pusimos para en enero, ella va a venir. Natalie Renew tiene una organización que ustedes se quieren conectar, porque ella tiene muchísimos recursos statewide para gente de Family Child Care Providers y grupo también. So, conéctense con Natalie. Esperanza College, va a estar aquí Tatiana Rivera y también Tamara Díaz de Esperanza College, que van a hablar de todos los recursos que ellos tienen y van a tener ahora en este año que viene en Esperanza, y Adamari Sosa de Economic Mobility, de qué sé yo qué. ¿Cómo se llama ahora? Siente. ¿Qué era antes?
North Square.
North Square. Era antes North Square, ahora se llama Siente. Ella va a hacer una presentación de bucecito. Y si Dios lo permite, también la special presentation de Kindergarten Readiness, que Rosana no lo sabía, pero le iba a pedir a Rosana que lo hiciera, porque ya yo sabía que yo lo iba a decir. Pero tan siquiera, maybe a toolkit o algo para que ustedes se lo
Exactamente, tuya siempre está cogiendo, así.
Siempre.
Rápido quiero decir, antes que nos vayamos, que agradezco a las personas que desde el día 1 están con nosotros, porque muchas de esas personas están en esta llamada. Mónica, Maritza, Patria, ¿verdad? Personas que en la primera reunión de Latinos Educando Juntos estuvieron presentes y están aquí hoy. Eso se dice mucho, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Ay, qué bueno, gracias.
Yes.
Muchas gracias.
Bueno, si ya terminaron nuestro exit survey, le deseamos un feliz Navidad, feliz Año Nuevo, mucha paz y que le vayan bien.
La lucecita.
Isn't that cute? Pues nosotros siempre andamos, we are so extra. We always have like the
¿Dónde está la
holiday.
música? Ya dejé
Ahora
de
está la
share my
música, sí, sí,
Felicidades.
comenzamos con música, déjame terminarlo con música también.
Eso es.
Tráiganse, le digan algo si quieren antes que se vayan, dinos un adiós, un Dios te bendiga o algo.
Ok, espérate, déjame poner la música. ¡Uepa!
Maritza.
El arroz con dulce.
Gracias, Susana.
Feliz Navidad, mami.
No con dulce, ya.
Arroz con dulce. Aunque a mí me gusta el, puede ser habichuela con dulce. Oh my God.
Oh,
Ay,
los dominicanos, sí.
con la-
Tengo
con
que
la-
hacerte una, Damari.
Tráemelo.
A mí es el tembleque. A mí con el
Te
tembleque
debo
me
unos
matan.
pasteles también.
Sí, me quedé esperando los pasteles. ¿Qué pasó con los pasteles?
Esta semana que viene.
No, yo voy a Huereca a buscarlo ahora.
Eres bienvenida.
Todo de verdad, la semana que viene voy a buscar mi arroz con dulce.
A mí me queda más cerca, Damari, voy a llegar.
Pues llega tú primero, Rosana.
Oh my God.
Gracias.
Bueno, mis niñas, buenas tardes, bendiciones y nos vemos pronto si Dios quiere. Feliz Navidad.
Muchas gracias.
Bye.